This movie, the cinematic embodiment of the glorification of money, drugs, lust, debauchery, and every other form of degeneracy under the sun. It's a story about a man called Jordan Belfort. He's a stockbroker that got royally fucked over by Wall Street when the stock market crashed, then had to start selling worthless stocks to blue collar workers, and eventually built his own firm that started making him so much money he didn't know what the fuck to do with it. He did a lot of degenerate things with his newfound steady inflow of cash, as most men would if you abruptly started depositing millions of dollars into their checking accounts on a monthly basis. But the worst sin he committed, and I think the boys would drastically disagree with me on this one, but it must be said, was leaving his wife for Margot Robbie. I know, his wife is just pretty, but Margot Robbie is like smoking fucking hot and the literal physical embodiment of every white woman's innate sex appeal. So it would only make sense for him to get an upgrade. But if you ignore her perfect skin, her seductive eyes, her childbearing symmetrical thighs, you realize that the quality of Jordan's life and his overall levels of happiness before and after he left his wife are almost completely diametrically opposed from one another. So why don't we take a closer look at his experience with his wife, compare that with his experience with Margot Robbie, and come to a definitive conclusion as to whether or not he did indeed fumble the metaphorical bag. On his first day as a stockbroker, his loving wife rides the bus with him and drops him off at the office. When the stock market crashed, she stood by him through thick and thin, even when he had become ostensibly useless to the American economy, a devastating event that would have inspired a lot of women to pack up and get the fuck out of there. She stayed with him and even offered to sell her wedding ring, a woman's most prized possession, just so they could make ends meet till he got back on his feet. In addition to that, she also had so much faith in him that she refused to let him squander his value by starting all over again as a sales boy at an electronics store, then proceeded to point him in the direction of a new small-time trading firm where he went from making 1% commission on Wall Street to 50% commission on each trade, promptly elevating him far higher than he had ever been on the financial ladder. And as if that wasn't enough, she also gave him the idea to target bigger clients, which allowed him to exponentially increase his profit margins on each trade, which then gave him the capital he needed to fully branch out on his own and start his own fucking investment firm. Then when he got blasted and berated on print media for essentially scamming his clients, which he was doing, and started freaking out, his wife calmed him down by reminding him that there's no such thing as bad publicity, which then put him in the right mind state to properly take advantage of the situation and use it as an opportunity to expand his business. This woman, this angel, this God-sent wife of his is literally the embodiment of the phrase, behind every great man is a strong woman. Stood by him at his lowest point, supported him every step of the way, helped him to avoid career-ending obstacles, and even gently nudged him towards greater financial opportunities. And what did he do to repay this kind-hearted woman? He started cheating on her with Margot Robbie. I mean, he was already fucking hookers and strippers every week since he became a stockbroker from day one, the systematic embodiment of degeneracy and debauchery, remember? But this time, it was different because he actually started to fall in love with her. He meets Margot Robbie at one of his company's beach parties and immediately starts flirting with her in front of her boyfriend, which was cherry flag numero uno if you ask me. You don't get into a relationship with a girl you took from another guy because then the next guy with a beach house and a nice smile can just come in and fuck your girl. Same goes for men. You don't go into a relationship with a guy that leaves his loving wife and abandons his whole ass marriage for you, because then the next fucking Victoria's Secret model looking bad bitch that looks at him for just 3.8 fucking nanoseconds could prove very deleterious to your marriage. Anyway, after flirting with her in clear view of his loving wife, he takes her on a date, fucks her that night, proceeds to fuck her for the next foreseeable fortnight, that is until his wife catches him red-handed. But as I said, he wasn't just fucking this girl. He was talking to her on the phone, taking her out on dates, doing drugs with her, spending money on her, taking her to all these luxurious places. She had basically become the physical and psychological emblematic representation of all the debaucherous activities he had become so accustomed to. Debaucherous activities we all know won't bring you anywhere near as much happiness or long-term fulfillment as a loving wife would. But hey, at least he's having fun. That is until the novelty wears off. The moment she catches him red-handed is actually quite painful to watch because after releasing all her initial anger fueled by the revelation that her husband had been unfaithful, she takes a step back and you can quite literally see it in her eyes the moment her heart breaks as she realizes that her marriage might be over. She takes a deep breath, asks him if he loves her. He says yes because he's infatuated by everything she represents, and Teresa just starts crying on the street while the man she loves just stands there watching. She didn't deserve any of this.
I felt horrible. 3 days later, I filed for a divorce and moved Naomi into the apartment.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
They end up getting married, having a kid, buying a big ass mansion and living happily ever after. For about 18 months, then he gets disillusioned with the idea of Naomi as a concept, starts getting to know the person underneath all that sex appeal, and realizes that he married a fucking gold digger whose primary objective is to spend all his money as fast as she can. Because of this revelation, he then loses the wherewithal to actually stay loyal to Naomi, and his degenerate side starts to rear its ugly head again. But this time, because of the same insatiable lust that led him to leave Teresa for Naomi, and on account of the fact that you can't really step it up much further than the sexiest woman in the world and he's already fucked all the best hookers that money can buy, he slowly but surely starts exploring his sexual deviance. He starts getting into all this freaky BDSM shit with an actual dominatrix, so now he's dabbling with things like bondage, pain, pleasure, sensory stimulation, safe words, and he's even low-key developed a humiliation fetish with her. So now he's getting somewhat attached to the point where he's saying her name out loud while he sleeps in his marital bed right next to his trophy wife, who again has been spending all this money non-stop on all this pointless, insignificant, superfluous, exorbitantly luxurious expenses, partially in an attempt to become something more than just an eye-catching trophy wife, but mostly because she can, and he's already set the precedent early on in the relationship that he is willing to spend gratuitously large amounts of money on her just because. So now we have a blatantly disrespectfully unfaithful husband and a wife who's got not a single frugal bone in her body. With these two highly combustible elements with varying levels of chemical potency and instability, let's see what sort of explosively pleasant chemical reaction will result if we pour the blue test tube into the red beaker.
Wake up, you piece of shit! Ow! Who's Venice? Huh?
Who?
What are you, a fucking owl? Who is she? You're a lying piece of shit!
Duchess, baby,
Don't
come
you
on.
fucking
Yeah,
Duchess me!
baby, I'm sorry.
Don't you Duchess
Baby,
me!
I'm sorry.
Do you
Just
really
talk-
think
yeah.
that I don't know what you're up to? What the little hooky you were fucking last
What the
night?
fuck are you talking about? No way, baby, no!
You were calling her name in your sleep.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
You're a father now.
I know.
And you're still acting
Yes.
like an infant!
Fuck! God damn it! Baby, you know, you got real anger issues because I can't keep track of your professions, honey. Because last month you were a wine connoisseur, now you're an aspiring landscape architect. Let me get that right. No,
Fuck
you probably had to pay them in cash with your hands. What a fucking burden. And actually do some work besides swiping my fucking credit card all day, huh? Don't fucking dare throw that fucking water at me. Don't you fucking dare. All right, honey? And we could talk this out, all right? Come on, give me a kiss. You look so beautiful right now. Come on.
Kiss you?
You look so beautiful
Kiss
when you're
you?
here. Yeah, give me one. Fuck you!
Wake up, you piece of shit!
Ow!
Like an infant!
Fuck you!
Ah, yes. My morning ritual. First, I'd get up and fight with Naomi about whatever it is I did the night before.
Yeah, that's not how life is supposed to be, my nigga. I don't even think I need to craft and eloquently present a well-written closing statement for this one. Just look at the clips and let me know if you still think I'm fucking crazy. And just in case all that wasn't convincing enough for you, at the end of the movie when he gets caught by the feds and starts facing real prison time, she fucking divorces him and takes custody of their kids.
I'm gonna take custody of the kids. If you agree to the divorce right now, I will allow visitation, okay? Don't try to fight it.
What kind of person are you? Tell me.
You married me.
The fuck does that supposed to mean?
Well, it means that you chose to marry a woman that abandoned her relationship for the possibility of a more luxurious life, so you shouldn't really be surprised at the fact that she's now abandoning you as well.
I don't love you anymore, Jordan!
Well, isn't that just fucking convenient for you? Now that I'm under federal indictment with an electronic bracelet around my ankle, now you decide you don't fucking love me anymore.
No.
You're not fucking taking my children, you vicious fucking cunt. Fuck you, you fucking bitch! You're not fucking taking my goddamn fucking kids, you hear me?
But regardless of all the bad decisions Jordan made, it's still always painful to watch a relationship come to an end after all that time spent together. To watch two people go from being strangers to lovers to strangers again, or worse, enemies, after one person decides that they never really meant it when they said they were in this together forever. The commitments they made to the other person no longer mean anything to them, and the love they shared isn't worth fighting for anymore. Anyway, subscribe to my Patreon for Weko's Echo. That's my Patreon exclusive weekly podcast where I review movies, answer your questions, and react to Reddit stories. So, well, this was fun. Subscribe to the Patreon, link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next analysis.
You're not taking my kids, sweetheart, you hear me?
So that was a fucking lie.